I hope you enjoyed our picture. In just a moment, I'm going to take you on a location trip to one of the smallest towns in one of the largest states to see the filming of one of the biggest pictures ever made, George Stevens' production of Giant. I'll be right back. Tonight, I'm going to tell you about a town with a story of its own, in which this script plays a momentary part. 50 days in a history of over 105 years. Now, most of you probably haven't even heard of this town. And I'm sure that the people who live there won't feel insulted if I say it's not exactly a metropolis. It's... There. There it is. Right there. Marfa, Texas is a city long on history, over a century, and short on people, 4,500. It was named by a stranger after a character in a forgotten novel. The native sons will tell you that Marfa was built on a cow, the Hereford. It's true. Marfan supply and service cattle ranching families and their hands from the farthest reaches of the Tri-County area. Now, as you may have gathered, nothing much ever happened in Marfa until that day. But that day, June 6th, 1955, everything happened. Giant had come to town. And here's Juliet, and she's all set with an empty autograph book. Lights, reflectors, film, props, spray guns, paint, and strong rope slings. The 1,000,001 items needed to create an illusion for the motion picture screen, including a full-size mansion, the scene of much of the action in Giant. Here it stands just as novelist Edna Ferber conceived it when she wrote the original story. A great wooden pile set down on the windswept Texas plains, a house that symbolizes its owner's pride. An identical duplicate of this mansion had existed for some months here on Stage 4 at Warner Brothers Studios in Burbank, 2,000 miles from Texas. It's one of the unsung wonders of pictures like Giant that scenes made in Hollywood can be intermixed with other scenes shot in faraway locations like this one in Texas. A miracle that you'll see for yourselves when you see the picture. And now in Marfa, the days wear on. The pre-production pace picks up. And at last, dropping down from the Texas sky, come the stars of Giant. The people who will turn all the weeks of preparation into an act of artistic creation. Half of Marfa was on hand to greet the name players in Giant, to get a glimpse of Hollywood glamour. And they weren't disappointed. Out of this special chartered plane stepped Elizabeth Taylor, Rock Hudson, director George Stevens. Now, take it easy, little girl. They'll be here tomorrow. And what a tomorrow. Why, all you had to do to get onto a real movie set was walk down to the railroad station. Yes, Hollywood's wonderful. They even bring their own windstorm. But the good citizens of Marfa did more than just watch a motion picture being made. Our casting director saw to that. Of Marfa's 4,000 people, 150 got a chance to do something right at home that most of us have to go to Hollywood for. They got a chance to act in a picture. And what a picture. There goes the director, Mr. Stevens.
You're just standing there talking and visiting, no moving around. Now the rest of the people just stand around and visit.
The little girls, run around, girls, fast. Run way out of the field. Keep going, keep going, keep going.
Keep going, girls. Hold it.
Just keep that autograph book hidden, Juliet. The Giant Company spent 70 days in Marfa. 70 days that shook Marfa's world. Days filled with the sounds and sights and emotions of show business. 70 days of enchantment, as if some huge carnival had come to town. And then suddenly, after almost 2.5 months of rubbing shoulders with people whom you normally see only on magazine covers at drugstores, Marfa said goodbye to Giant. And what had Giant left behind? Let's ask Mr. Billy Cruz.
I think it kind of did us good. Nice folks. Business was never better. Ask Mayor Cofield.
When they first flung this idea at me of making a moving picture here in Marfa, even if it was about Texas, I didn't think so much of it. But I have changed my mind.
And finally, what's the word from the showman of Marfa?
Well, there's one thing for sure. The night we play Giant, the old palace just better have rubber walls.
But some citizens of Marfa weren't even a little bit content. Like this little girl. She's been trying for 70 days to get an autograph. They're going home without even saying goodbye. Oh, wait a minute. What's this? And that, among other things, is what happened in Marfa. But it's not the last you'll hear of Giant. Meanwhile, we hope that this glimpse behind the camera will help you enjoy the picture more when you see it in Warner color at your local theater. And now a word about next week's television story.